Welcome back to Rock Your Best Vocals. Jim here. Today we're going to listen to Layne Staley, isolated vocals for We Die Young. Something that I've learned over my time as a professional singer and a vocal coach is that sometimes we hear a voice and we think it sounds one way, but then when we listen closer, we really hear what's happening with the voice. And something I didn't understand about Layne's voice until I really started listening to the tone of his voice. And there are some really excellent clues as to what he's doing and how we might be able to achieve that sound. I mean, we're never going to sound exactly like him, but we're going to try and get close to at least we're going to try and listen to his tone, and we're going to try to get closer to that tone that he has, that because the tone is everything. So anyway, let's listen to this.
Scaries on the wall.
There's a brightness in his voice.
Ooh.
Even on that, ooh, ooh. There's a brightness in there. It's not like, ooh. He's a, ooh. There's a, ooh. Listen on.
Scaries on the wall. Scaries on his way.
Listen how bright that. So if I'm trying to like imitate that, so if I was just singing that normal, Scary's on his way, it doesn't sound as bright. But if I try to open up in the back, on his way, I'm really trying to open up in the back like this, make that space like that, open up in the back, and that adds a little bit of brightness in there, almost like if you're in, like if you're singing in head voice or falsetto, that's really bright. But when people move that to chest voice, it loses that brightness because they tend to close down in the back. But let's move on.
Watch where you spit.
So there is that. It's bright, but it's like this. Such the open throat is just like you can hear how open he is. Watch where you spit. Like if I'm closing down, watch where you spit. It's so close. It's so like there's no resonance because it's like I'm forcing like this. Watch where you spit. He has a certain way of making it bright without it being like annoyingly tinny, right? So let's move on.
I'd advise you wait until it's over.
You can hear a little breath. I'd advise you wait until it's over. So if you take this, what's kind of known as a cry technique, I'd advise you, that will help you to get in that bright. I'd advise you wait until it's over.
Then you got hit.
She's adding a little bit of distortion in there. Then you got hit. So I'm not closing down into this. Then you got hit. That sounds very closed off and there's no resonance. So I'm trying to keep it like, then you got hit. Just adding a little bit of that. Then you got hit. Adding even some nasal resonance through there. And we're going to hear some more of that in a minute.
And you should have known better.
On that, and you should have known, and you should have known better. So I'm kind of like taking a little approach. Have to have a little bit of nasal flow in there. And you should have known better. It's that brightness that it's so hard to get like that. It's just, but he does it naturally.
And we die young.
On that. And so if I do that, and it's too kind of constricted, right? But he's allowing that little bit of, and we die young. You can hear that little bit of the brightness, that little buzz with that airflow. And we die young. I'm gonna like kind of. And we die young. There's a tremendous amount of support going on there. And if you want to understand everything that you need to know about support, please click the link down below for Singing Support Secrets. Take that. It's a free course and enjoy. I'll see you on the course. Let's move on. Okay, so there he's clearing his throat. The thing is, you can hear this. There's a little, he's checking that nasal flow as well. Listen to that compression that he's doing. The compression is so important. He's not doing it like it's not up here like this. And that's too much. That's too constricted, right? But there's a little flow in there, but listen. At the beginning, there's this. The way he's setting this up, the compression that he's doing, the compression is very important. So he's fast. So it's like this kind of, when I'm doing that, it's not fast. There's a little bit of nasal flow. It's a light, sort of light feeling, almost like lifting up fast. We run down. Listen to that beginning of that. Compressing into that. Down. It's like this feeling of the puking. Right? Sounds silly, but let's move on anyway.
Watch the blood float in the muddy sewer. Take another hit and bury your brother.
So much power in that. And you bury your brother. I'm really, so much support going in there and so much kind of trying to keep it light and free, almost like they're crying. And you bury your brother. And if I take all that kind of, all the power and the grit and everything out of it, and bury your brother, it's very light like that. But if I add that little power into it, add that lift and that little bit of constriction back here, and bury your brother, and even allow a little bit more airflow, brother, a little bit more airflow. There's a point where it starts to hurt. I can feel like it's starting to go, okay, and that's a little bit too much air, and you can back off. But these are the kinds of things you learn as you kind of practice this stuff. You kind of know your limits of where you can push it and where you can, like, where you have to hold back.
And we die young.
Again, on that listen to the beginning, that compression that he's adding in there. That you can hear that. And we, if I go, if I'm doing that and I allow the kind of almost cry, and we, and he's like, you can hear and he's stopping the breath. It's like a gate. It's like he's stopping with this gate and then letting just a little bit to flow through. He's just stopping it with this. And we die young. Listen, in between, he's kind of just checking the resonance, right?
Scary is on the wall.
That must have been a double or something like that, because it sounded like one of them was kind of warbling a bit more than the other. But like if you take your tongue and move your tongue like that, maybe that's how he got that. I'm not sure, but it sounds pretty cool. But the brightness in there is so cool.
Scary is on his way.
So he starts off with that. Scary's on his way. It gets bright at the end. Scary. That kind of dirty, kind of gargly sort of distortion at the beginning. And then he moves into starts to make it bright at the end. Scary's on his way. Open up everything and make it really bright. It's so cool.
Then you got hit, and you should have known better.
So what he's doing there is a master of being able to take what could be a thin distortion and thicken it up. You should have known better. And then, but make it thicker. And you should have known better. So that's just a master of this.
And we die young. And we die young.
Listen to how he stops his breath before he lets the note kind of come through. You have to stop the breath, and this is the compression, right? We stop the breath and then let the note through.
And we die young.
He's, and we die young. Stopping the breath is so key to powerful rock singing. Stopping the breath, but allow this flow through, almost like with the cry or whatever, but you stopping that and we die young. I'm trying to brighten it up there, trying to get as bright as, no one's going to be as good as Layne. Layne, what a legend. I hope this video has helped you at least understand and maybe appreciate Layne's voice even that much more. And the things that he was doing between the singing was even more important than what he was doing when he was singing. Because we understand this stopping the breath, right? And then the checking the nasal flow and everything throughout the recording. Those things are so important. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you and you enjoyed it. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Rock your best vocals, where your best keeps getting better.